Hey everyone, Pathany Mantano here. Waka 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 waka. And it is time for a review of the new The Body and Full of Hell collaborative album. Today, you will ache like I ache. This is the highly anticipated, at least highly anticipated by me, collaborative record from Extreme Music Acts, The Body and Full of Hell. Full of Hell being primarily a metalcore, grind, power violence outfit. They had a fantastic collaborative record with Merzbow not too long ago. And then we have The Body, who are more on the slow, droney, sludgy end of the extreme metal spectrum. Their songs are typically topped with these shrieked vocals that kind of sound like a man-pig hybrid being tortured to death in a nightmarish slaughterhouse. They have a distinct sound, but a lot of the time it doesn't really do too much for me. But still, though, I do like Full of Hell a lot, and I do think that these two groups have some very extreme, abrasive styles, so it would be interesting to sort of hear them come together on a full-length record that is 8 tracks and 30 or so minutes long, and also includes a Leonard Cohen cover. Why? Now, no surprise, this thing is a musical house of horrors. It's relentless right from the start. The opening title track, after a few lone, spaced-out drum beats, we get this hellish wall of sound. It's just a solid monolith of blast beat drums and grinding guitars. It's the most disgusting, ear-bleeding wall of sound I've heard since the opening track to that Pissgrave record that came out last year. It's an exciting start, and then the song all of a sudden busts into a second phase where the guitars slow down, everything's much sludgier, much doomier, way more depressing and dreary. The Body and Full of Hell sort of jumping back and forth throughout this album from one emotional and aggressive extreme to the next. This track slides right into the song Fleshworks, which isn't a bad track either. It takes an easier approach, but I will say before I get into this track, every song here flows into one another pretty nicely. Even though this is a relatively short project, it's very cohesive. Now, the beat on this cut is primal. It's hypnotic. It's kind of repetitive. It's lots of rolling fills. And then we have these female harmonized vocals that pop into the mix that call back to other Body projects where female vocals have been used to a similar degree. They sound very pretty, sort of cultish. The track is cool, but it ends somewhat abruptly as it seems to just be a detour to the Leonard Cohen cover on the third cut here, which unfortunately is maybe my least favorite track on the entire album. This song to me embodies most of what I don't really like about the Body's music. It's usually very slow and uneventful, and it's just not freakish or detailed or progressive enough to kind of keep my attention throughout the duration of the entire track, nor do I think the chord progression of this song really fits the brooding, heavy vibe of the sound, though I do appreciate that Full of Hell and The Body tried to, I guess, stay as musically true as possible to this Leonard Cohen song without changing too much up. I'm really happy they kept the blood-curdling screams in the original track. I will say they are ambitious for trying, though, and I do like the production on here. The crinkly white noise and the sputtering high-pitched sounds do leave this song feeling much more textured than a lot of The Body's production generally. The mayhem continues on the track Geralt, where we have these booming, just treble-filled drums, and over this we get just the psychedelic, ugly wall of noise. It's probably the trippiest and most echo-drenched track on the entire project. I wish there was a little more to the track musically, but you know, it's not often you get a sonic torture chamber quite like this one, so well stocked with sharp implements. Now, the last several cuts on here are really where the heavyweights of the album show up. The song Himmel and Holly is awe-inspiringly harsh drone noise, where The Body and Full of Hell really enhance one another's strengths and characteristics. I was afraid that in a way they might cancel each other out on some of these tracks, where we have songs where Full of Hell feels very present but not The Body feels very present but not Full of Hell. But on this cut specifically, it just seems like they're all trying to create as much havoc as possible, and it just blends together into the most sour, vile, putrid vat of sad, nihilistic, ugly feelings that I've heard in a while. The roars and shrieks and scattered drums and layer upon layer of buzzsaw guitar on this track are horrendously awesome. The song Bottled Urn takes kind of an industrial approach to the production and I guess just the tone of the instrumentation. It's a little electronic, it's kind of metallic, it's very textured, and all these sounds add up into a merciless pummeling. And the two bands really saved the best for last with the song The Little Death, which is a kind of a French saying for orgasm. And it truly is the climax of this record, which is so crazy because everything up until this point has been so harsh, so noisy, so physical, so brutal, and yet Full of Hell and The Body find a way to top all of it and come together with the most disorienting leave that in track on the entire record. If an album as abrasive as this could have a powerful, soul-crushing orgasm, this is it. Overall, I'm pretty impressed with how this record came out. I don't have too many complaints other than that it's a little short, and there are a few moments where I wish there was more of a musical memorability to the record, not just, you know, a merciless sonic beating. And also, I'm still not that into the Leonard Cohen cover, and that is kind of a big misstep for such a short track listing. Though, again, I commend the risk that the two groups took here. Regardless, though, there may be other people who are much warmer to that cover than I am. And even the tracks that aren't that cover, I think, are great. They're hard-hitting. They're just deadly. This is a good record. It's rare that I think full-length collaborative records like this come out so well. So I'm just feeling a decent to strong 7 on this thing. Really good. Good, guys. Good.
Position. Have you given this album a listen? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What would you rate it? You the best, you the best. What should I review next? Hit that like if you like. Please subscribe or you'll die. The Body, Full of Hell. One day you will ache like I ache forever.